I want to fight with contenders, you know. It's from someone from top 5. It's a Gaethje or Oliveira. Gaethje wants to fight for the title. It makes sense to fight with me because nobody gonna give him title fight. It's not gonna be fair.
That would be ideally for us the perfect matchup based on the fact of where his standing is and what he's done. So, and he's a big known guy.
Something big is about to shake up the lightweight division, but not everyone is going to like it. Justin Gaethje has his eyes set on Islam Makhachev's belt, but Arman Tsarukyan isn't backing down. He says Gaethje hasn't done enough and needs to go through him first. But with the UFC's title picture in chaos and Dana White holding all the power, will Gaethje get his shot or will Tsarukyan block his path? Things are about to get very interesting.
The next guy who should get the title shot should be Justin Gaethje, based on his circumstances. Father Time doesn't wait for anybody. What's he gonna do, wait a whole nother year?
Is Gaethje skipping the line, or does he deserve the shot? Let us know what you think.
Hooker pulled out. They offered me that fight. I was first who they called, and it was like 10 days. I said, okay, I'm down, just I can fight in 164.
The UFC lightweight division stands as the most competitive weight class in the promotion, with Islam Makhachev firmly established as its dominant champion. Undefeated since 2015, Makhachev has proven himself a worthy successor to Khabib Nurmagomedov's legacy. Below him, a hungry pack of contenders vie for the next shot at gold, with Arman Tsarukyan and Justin Gaethje emerging as the front-runners in this high-stakes battle. Arman Tsarukyan's journey to the title suffered a devastating setback just one day before UFC 311, when a back injury forced him to withdraw from his championship bout against Makhachev. UFC President Dana White didn't mince words about the situation. He's lost his chance. Now he needs to prove himself again. While Raoni Barcelos stepped in on short notice and ultimately lost to the champion, Tsarukyan focused on recovery and rehabilitation. Now back in training, the Armenian fighter is eager to reclaim his position. "My back is feeling good and I'm ready," Tsarukyan told the Schmo. "If they're going to give me a fight in May or at the end of April, that would be great." Despite being the #1 contender before his injury, Tsarukyan now faces a complicated path back to title contention. Arman Tsarukyan's comeback strategy is multifaceted, focusing on proving he remains the rightful #1 contender despite his injury setback. Fully recovered and back in training, the Armenian fighter is targeting a quick return to action. "I'm so excited for my next fight and I can't wait."
So, but now I'm just waiting for their call, and I'm so excited for my next fight, and
Tsarukyan enthused while discussing his future plans. His primary goal remains clear: reclaiming his title shot against Islam Makhachev. However, he's pragmatic about the UFC's position and has outlined alternative paths. "I want to fight with contenders, you know, from someone from top 5. With Dana White suggesting his title shot chances were pretty good, Gaethje wasted no time positioning himself for the championship opportunity. At 35 years old, Gaethje understands the urgency of his situation, with Aljamain Sterling explaining, "Father Time doesn't wait for anybody. What you gonna do? Wait a whole another year?" The combination of Gaethje's ranking, exciting fighting style, and veteran status makes him a compelling candidate for the next title shot. A previously unknown chapter in this saga emerged when Tsarukyan revealed he had been offered the fight against Gaethje when Dan Hooker was forced to withdraw. "When Hooker pulled out, they offered me that fight. I was first who they called," Tsarukyan disclosed. "It was like 10 days. I said, okay, I'm down. I can fight at 160 for a catch weight."
How close are we from getting a fight? Any updates? We just had UFC 313. How do you feel about everything?
So when Hooker pulled out, they offered me that fight. I was first who they called, and it was like 10 days. I said, okay, I'm down, just I can fight in 160 for 4 pounds catch weight, you know, because for 10 days I could make 155, but maybe for my performance wouldn't be good. But that's why I said 160. It makes sense because for 10 days, you know. And they said, okay.
According to Tsarukyan, this reasonable accommodation for a short notice fight wasn't accepted, and he believes Gaethje deliberately avoided the matchup. I think Gaethje said no, and he just picked the right opponent because he's supposed to fight with a striker, and he picked a striker, Tsarukyan claimed, adding that Gamrot had also been willing to step in. Gamrot wanted to fight with him as well, and he didn't pick him as well. This revelation adds another layer of tension to their potential matchup, with Tsarukyan implying Gaethje deliberately chose a more favorable stylistic matchup. The lightweight landscape has become further complicated by the presence of other legitimate contenders. Chief among them is former featherweight champion Ilia Topuria, who vacated his 145-pound title to pursue gold in the lightweight division. Tsarukyan offered his assessment of a potential Makhachev-Topuria matchup. It's a tough fight. Ilia has better striking, like good boxing. I don't know, he never fought with guys who can wrestle very well like Islam, so we'll see. It's a 50-50th fight. Meanwhile, Charles Oliveira remains in the mix as well, with John Anik noting Charles Oliveira is worthy as well. I think we can all agree there are three options: Ilia Topuria, Justin Gaethje, Charles Oliveira. This crowded field of contenders creates both opportunity and uncertainty for the UFC's matchmaking team as they determine who deserves the next crack at Makhachev's lightweight crown. Islam Makhachev's dominance as the lightweight champion has created a unique challenge for potential challengers. His well-rounded skill set makes him a difficult puzzle to solve, with his coach Javier Mendez highlighting how he differs from his predecessor. Islam is more well-rounded than Khabib ever was. Islam is at the point where he's pound for pound #1 because he's well-rounded in all areas. Mendez explained, Khabib was not as well-rounded in striking. Khabib's attributes were the ground and the submission and how he can smother you. Islam doesn't have that type of game. He's got a different type of game. It's incredible. It's different. This versatility makes Makhachev a formidable champion who can adapt to various opponent styles. Regarding potential matchups, Mendez remains open to whoever the UFC chooses to put in front of his fighter, expressing confidence in Makhachev's ability to handle any challenger. It definitely, in my opinion, would play out differently because they're not the same fighter. They're not the same fight at all. It's an entirely different fight. Aljamain Sterling also weighed in on the potential matchup, suggesting it could be more competitive than the Khabib fight. This is more of a stand-up fight. I think Islam, out of all the Dagestani guys, is the most well-rounded in my opinion. John Anik offered additional support for Gaethje's case. He absolutely should fight Islam Makhachev for the title. I don't know that he could have done more with this showcase. While acknowledging that Gaethje's win over Fiziev was via decision rather than a finish, Anik argued, sometimes decision wins could be better than finishes, and I think in this instance, had there been a quick knockout, I actually think this is more useful. Who do you think deserves the next shot at Islam Makhachev? Will it be Tsarukyan reclaiming his opportunity, Gaethje getting one final chance at undisputed gold, or will Ilia Topuria jump the line with his championship pedigree? Express your thoughts in the comments section below. Make sure to give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed this breakdown, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button to see more in-depth MMA content.